Alright, what's going on, guys? Gdogg here, getting ready for another episode of Path of Exile. It's been a little while since I've actually come back to play this game. That's because I've been doing a lot of, messing around with my schedule and trying to change the upload schedule and all of that stuff, and it's continuously changing all the time. Every time I make an update video to say, okay, I thought about it, this is how I want to do it. After about a week, I'm like, actually, I kind of want to tweak it a little bit. So I keep, tweaking things, but we are going to continue to play Path of Exile, and we left off when we had finished Act 1, and it looks like we've already come in here and picked up all the different quests around here, met all of these characters, although we're not really getting to know them because it's not like we're clicking on all their stuff here. We have some pieces in our inventory that we need to deal with, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Everything else looks pretty good. It's all identified. Yeah, we got some chromatic items here. This axe is not going to be used. This belt, well, this belt right now is way better than the belt that I have. I'm not really sure what kind of belts I'm going to be focusing on, to be honest, but
what do you want?
Now we can come and sell all this shit that we don't need.
Going?
Then come to the stash and drop everything in. Okay, come over to gems and throw those in there, and I guess we're good. Let's just take a quick look here. So here we have Molten Strike and Life Gain on hit. Nothing in this sword right now. Sunder, Ruthless Support, and added fire damage support. We also have Ancestral Protector and Leap Slam. So that's kind of what we're going with for now. Take a look at our quests here. Got a few of them, and it takes us all over the world. We're going to go ahead and start with the lowest level one, which I believe is the Great White Beast, and that just takes you right there. So that means we're going to be heading out this way. A couple different exits out of the main town here in this act. We'll be taking the one that leads us to the east. And our goal is to basically just sort of grind out these quests. We're going to sort of focus them down rather than, you know, casually explore the world and kill everything that we see. Anything in front of us is going to get killed. For the most part, anyway. And we'll branch out every once in a while, but... Sunder is still doing a pretty good job for us. And again, if we're looking to do the Great White Beast, it means we need to go into this area. There's two branch-offs from this, well, three total branch-offs from this map. You can see back to the forest encampment, up here to this location, and over here. So we need to find the right one. And normally what I'll do, chromatic and yellow, very nice, is I will sort of patrol the outskirts of the land, or of the map, and look for the exit, basically. We'll use our Quicksilver to sort of run around. There we go. Alright, got some Harbingers here. That actually were those Harbingers? Yeah, I think so. That actually reminds me of something I wanted to touch on here, is that I realized that with my current schedule, there's no way I'm going to get to end game content with the Harbinger League. The really good thing about Path of Exile specifically, is that when a league is finished, your character just gets moved to the standard league. And I just realized I said that specifically with Path of Exile, but Diablo does the exact same thing too. So it's not like it's brand new. So we found the crossroads. We're gonna find out if this is the right place for us to go. I don't actually think that it is, but we'll find out. So we step in, and we'll see where on the map it puts us, basically. Usually the zones load a little bit faster, but I think because I've only just recently turned the game on after a while. So yeah, we're here now, and now we have a bunch more branch offs. So we actually want to go back. And now we know where the crossroads are, but we still need to find the other exit. I have a hard time believing it's going to be on the bottom side, to be honest. But I don't think it's going to be on the bottom side. So Molten Strike still working for us on single target, and Sunder doing well with basically everything else. Just so you guys know, I have not actually played basically any Path of Exile since the last recording. I've been really diversifying the games that I play, and I've been enjoying it. It means that I'm not really making much progress in any of them, but the goal here is to sort of pick like 4 or 5 games that I can sort of rotate between. Usually what I do in the past would be something like 2 or 3. But even that, for me, isn't really enough. Because eventually you end up just kind of getting bored. Or at least, it's not even like I'm bored, but I just want to do something else. Which I guess, you know, could be taken as being bored, but who knows. What I think is that there's going to be another way over there. Oh, I could be very wrong about this. Oh, what's that? Oh, maybe that's exactly that cave right there. That's what we're looking for. So now, I wish there was like an auto center on this map. There we go. Got myself really disoriented there, but oh, orb of fusing. That's very valuable. I think I saw that earlier too. That's the dead, and that's what we're looking for. My bad. I thought it was a different zone. So that's something that we'll just have to be on our toes about, because if we look at the map now, it shows us like we're in like a different zone, because we are, but I just thought the exit was going to be on the outskirts, but it's actually just right in the middle. So we can't just always assume that the exits are going to be on the outskirts. So yeah, I've been playing like a lot of different types of games. We're playing World of Warcraft. I've jumped back into Final Fantasy, and something I've sort of noticed, and you guys are going to see this reflected on the channel going forward, I think, is that I never really wanted to admit it, really, but I think I actually am drawn to the MMO style of game more so than maybe some others, at least right now in my life. And I think you guys are a little bit too, because I noticed that the videos that are typically about games that have a lot of grinding and have, like, you know, the whole concept of starting off at level 1 and spending hours and hours to level up, whether it is an MMO like WoW or Final Fantasy, or even games like Path of Exile, where, you know, I would never call this an MMO, but I know some people do. It's got MMO elements, but the one constant between the games is the fact that you can, you know, you have to spend a lot of time leveling up, and then once you get to the end game content, you can do some cool stuff, right? And that's sort of the one aspect of these games that I never really get to experience is the end game content, because I never really seem to make it that far, because I always branch away to a different game. And this time the goal is to have sort of several of those going at once. And it might seem kind of asinine, or it might seem like counterintuitive, which maybe it will work out that way, you know? This is an experiment, but I've been pretty happy with it lately. And it's fun to play these like grindy type games where, you know, you just level a character up and try to make him as powerful as possible, whether it's in Path of Exile, whether it's in WoW or Final Fantasy, or Destiny 2, which is coming out for PC October 24th. I've been keeping myself pretty shielded from Destiny type content on consoles right now. I'm not necessarily like, you know, 100% avoiding it, but I'm not going out of my way to look for it, because I plan on starting a series on Destiny 2 once it comes out for PC. I'm already going to be buying it, and going to be doing that as soon as possible, and it's going to make its way into the rotation. But doing like the thing about these types of games, these grindy games where it takes hundreds of hours to get to the end, when you're only playing like 1 hour a week, it's going to take a long ass time. And I recognize that. But it might actually be okay, you know? Like, I understand it's going to take a long-ass time. Like, if I want to get to endgame and I'm only doing 1 hour a week, it's like, how many episodes do you think it's going to take me in Path of Exile to get there? And Path of Exile is probably the shortest of all the other ones that I'm doing. You know, we're talking at least like 50, maybe even 100 episodes, probably. That's a couple years. We do 1 episode a week. But maybe that'll be good, you know? It's a bit of a... Oh, I guess... Did I kill the beast? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, he's dead. So I guess now we can go back and turn it in, but I'm just going to actually run over to the crossroads here. Because we've already found that area. But yeah, like if we play, you know, 1 hour a week in all these games, like I said, it's going to take a long-ass time to get to the end. But it might be some sort of therapeutic thing for me. You know? Go to work, come home, jump onto a game that, for the most part, is relatively mindless. Oh, I gotta get this guy. I don't think I'm gonna get them. They've been escaping me lately. Come on. I think we killed him? Or he ran, I don't know. But yeah, you know, you go to, the way that I work on a split shift. So I start at 8 in the morning and then go to work, take phone calls for 4 hours. I do tech support, for those of you who are not aware, for a cell phone company. So it's mostly just, the most part, it's like talking to people from the older generation who have a hard time navigating around their cell phone. But sometimes there are actual network issues that we have to escalate tickets for and all that. But then we come back and I jump on and I record whatever game I'm supposed to record for that day. And I think, and sometimes, you know, jumping into like a story game, like Nier Automata, I sort of really noticed that with Nier Automata, or Automata, however you say it, where it was like a little bit heavy, you know? For these types of games, it's actually a lot of fun to just come home on my split. I have 4 hours. Usually I have a snack, do some dishes, and then jump on to record for about an hour. And then after I record, I do the upload process and get that all set up. And then I just chill before I have to go back to work. But the whole idea of... Wait, where are we going here? So we can go in any direction. We have a quest in any direction. So we'll come down here, I guess. But yeah, jumping onto like an action RPG like Path of Exile or an MMO like WoW or Final Fantasy XIV is like just a very relaxing experience. The one thing I wouldn't say concerned, because concerned might not be the right word, but I mean, it might be the perfect word. I don't know. Concerned about is the fact that doing these like grindy styles of games is gonna kind of force me to always have something to talk about, right? And I don't always have something to talk about. I've been kind of thinking about that lately too, and trying to figure out like what kind of things could I talk about during stuff like this. And I think the thing that kind of stands out the most, at least that, you know, after thinking about it for a few seconds anyway, is that there's a lot of like really silly things that I deal with at work in tech support. There's just tons of, like, I don't think you guys understand unless you've ever worked a job like this. Like, I do tech support, but the same thing goes for people who work customer service at call centers. Basically anything call center related, really. You get, like, just the amount of characters that are in this world is just insane. But the weird thing is that despite, and trust me when I tell you that if I remembered all of them, I could probably tell you guys enough stories for like 50 episodes. Like there are some people who are just ridiculous, and it's, you know, you guys would probably think the stories are funny and just absolutely insane. But for some reason, I've developed this like process where I get these crazy ass calls I sit there for like 2 minutes after the call, and I just like wonder about humanity. And then I take the next call, and I've almost forgotten completely about the recent call I just had. That was so crazy. There's a few that stick with me, but I kind of wish more would. Because when I go back and try to tell the stories now, there's going to be all sorts of like missing information, and I'd, you know, either have to make up the bits that I can't fully remember, and then it's just not as genuine, so I don't really want to do that. What am I doing in this area? I'm talking too much now. Fell Shrine, I gotta find the other exit, okay. But yeah. Like one instance of that I can kind of remember was there was this lady, she's like 60 years old. She's got like she might have been older than 60. She had like a raspy, like old lady voice, you know? And she was having trouble with her phone. I can't even really remember what type of troubles. Oh yeah, the stone hammers. Well, see, this is a chromatic one, so I might be collecting stone hammers a lot more later in the game, but I just don't really like holding on to them. Because you can get like map chisels or something for turning them in. I can't really remember. Oh, we've leveled up as well, so we are heading into barbarism. 6% increase maximum life and extra fire resistance. I guess that's okay. So this lady is like super old, raspy voice. Doesn't really have any idea about how anything works, really. Technologically, anyway. But she's telling me that she's got this ex-boyfriend who is hacking her phone so that it will print out a transcript of her conversation on the spot. And she's like, I was like, well, how would he do something like that? You know, and it's really tough because when you're a representative, you need to, you can't just be like, listen, that's crazy, you know? So you gotta go through the whole like, well, you know, it would be pretty hard for somebody to do that kind of thing. And if they are, then you need to go to the police. That's what I say. Because there's no arguing with somebody who thinks they are being hacked. I had another lady tell me that she swore, and I am not making this up. Like, you're gonna think that I'm making this up. But she swore that she could feel the hackers enter her phone through some sort of magnetic force while she was talking on the phone. She'd be like, almost like she'd feel like a vibration or something and be like, oh, there it is. You know, someone just hacked me. I can feel it. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. We gotta find a way to, you know, politely and just navigate that type of conversation, and it's tough. But this lady was like, I can't hang. I was like, whatever the problem she was having, she needed to speak to the manufacturer. I remember that. I was trying to tell her, you gotta talk to Samsung. You have a Samsung phone. It's doing this thing. I can't remember. So, you know, you gotta talk to them. And she's like, I can't hang up the phone. If I hang up the phone, my ex-boyfriend's gonna shut my phone down. And I was like, well, how is he able to do that? And she's like, it's through my Samsung TV. He's hacking my Samsung phone. And I was like, you know. And actually, one of the main reasons I remember this specifically, too, is because it was coming up close on my time to go home. I was almost done my shift. And I'm sitting there just like this call can take like 2 hours to get through if I don't handle it right. And the answer, like, first, there probably was no answer. The issue had something to do with her Samsung products being hacked. So it was pretty easy that I just had to get her to speak to Samsung or the police, one of them. And I can't remember why. She had some sort of excuse why she couldn't speak to the police. Probably something to do with hacking. I can't really remember that reason, but it was like she couldn't hang up the phone to call Samsung because her boyfriend would just shut her phone down on the spot. So in the end, I ended up just offering to transfer her to Samsung, and that's what we did. So it wasn't really a you know, climactic ending or anything like that, but it's just like the amount of craziness that you have to deal with, and that might be one of the bigger ones, but you know, there's some other beauties as well, and it's not always tech support related or hacking related either. But I would love to be able to like tell you guys more stories about that, but for some reason I just don't really retain the information. It's really interesting how that works. Like, you have to sort of just put it aside, or else, you know, you focus on that too much and it'll make your life hell, at least while you're at work. So we've been just sort of cruising along now. What area are we in? The crypt, and we're supposed to be here. Why? I can't remember. There's a reason, though. We might not have a quest for this area yet, but we will find a reason to be here. Got some harbingers here, as well as like a rare spider. Boom, there we go. Sunder is pretty good. I find myself running out of mana pretty quickly here. I don't think my flasks are really up to the task. But other than that, our power is definitely good right now. And it's one of those things I've noticed while playing Path of Exile is you go through different like power spikes and you'll be able to tell. Early on, it's pretty simple, like all the way up to probably Act 4, I would say. Maybe Act 3, but even Act 3 is relatively simple overall. Once you get into Act 4, you'll start to feel like, you know, your power isn't quite getting up there with where it needs to be. But then you'll start equipping like the next tier of items, and you'll start to feel yourself get a little bit more powerful, and then all of a sudden the game starts to feel really easy again. And then you'll go to the next act and you'll feel you're up against the wall a little bit until you just sort of grind it out, and that's what I've noticed with Path of Exile specifically. And I look forward to getting there because up until that point it's pretty simple and you don't have to worry too much. Okay, we're going over here. There's only one place to go. This is where we're heading to. Resolute Technique. Okay, there's a doorway. I said that I'm gonna sort of like focus on the quests and everything, but I've actually just been sort of wandering around aimlessly, mostly because I'm just talking while playing, and I'm okay with that. It's kind of the fun thing about games like this, is you can play them in different ways, you know? Like, you can shut your mind completely off and just enter a zone and just explore the whole zone, kill everything in it, and not even think about what you're doing. That is how I tend to play these games when I'm in my own, you know, when I'm not recording. It's either that or it's like I'm trying to find the most efficient way to handle a zone, which is how I try to play while actually recording, but it doesn't always go that way. Depends on your mood, right? If you're going into a gaming session and you're like what do you want to get out of it? Are you trying to relax and just not think about life? If so, then, you know, just sort of let your hands do the work for you and don't even really think about anything. And you might not be doing it at the most efficient pace, but who really cares about that as long as you're having fun? That's the whole goal, right? But other times, if you're like, I want to, you know, level up this Marauder as quickly as I possibly can, then you'll handle the game in a different way. So it gives you options. Either way, you're making progress. Even if you are just sort of shutting your mind off and trying to complete a whole zone before moving on to the next quest, you might not, like I said, you might not be making progress as efficiently as you can be, but you're still getting something, so, you know. It's all fun. I definitely need some new flasks, though. I'm feeling like they need to be upgraded the most. Some more harbingers. hopefully they will drop some binding orbs here, or binding shards. This guy's taking a while to kill. There we go. Nope. 7 transmutation shards. That's a lot of transmutation shards, but I don't care too much about those orbs. Just leave the Ancestral Protector to murder everything. Have I done anything of any importance in here at all? I don't think so. But hey, at least I'm gaining experience, right? It can be easy to just sort of fall into the zone as well and just not talk about anything. And I haven't heard any complaints about that. Doesn't mean that, you know, it hasn't gone, that it's gone unnoticed or something, but sometimes when I play these games, I'll just like shut up and just play, even though I'm recording. It's one of those things I you know, kind of try not to do very often, but sometimes I just can't help it. I mean, if you don't have anything to talk about, you don't have anything to talk about, but also if you're just getting into the zone and just playing the game, there's nothing really that bad about that either.
I cannot carry this.
I don't think I need any of those, to be honest. You know what we are going to do, though, is we're going to portal back. I'm going to empty out my bags. And, check up on a couple things. Because I just realized I was actually, wondering if we've upgraded our equipment at all. I don't think we have. Just identifying everything. Okay, good. None of this is really useful for us. We're focusing heavily on armor. This is armor and energy shield. This is leather. This helmet is actually... Okay, this helmet's pretty damn good. Definitely better than that. It focuses on armor. And it's chromatic, which is interesting. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to head over to our stash. Actually, no. First what we're going to do is sell the things we know we don't need. Like this, 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 this. Woo, 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 woo. Dog's here today, in case you can't tell. I don't need sandals either.
Going.
Alright, how are we looking? We got a couple flasks here that might be useful as well, so I'm going to hold on to them. What is happening? Can I just move you, please? Jeez. Just want to move you. Alright, helmet. Okay, do we have a binding orb? Because this would be a pretty good thing to use a binding orb on, maybe, anyway. Where are the binding orbs? Oh, down here. Okay, orb of binding. We have 2 of them. Alright, so we need to find the person who sells... Whoop, no. I did that in one of the other videos, too. Clicked on sell because I said it out loud. Yeah, armor. Here we go. That's not armor. Copper plate. Here's armor. He's only got 1. But you see the armor is 176. On this one, the armor is 24. So, like, geez. We need that. Even if the... Well, actually, it looks like we definitely need something that is at least triple linked with red. Otherwise, we will be sacrificing something. So that's not the greatest pick. As far as the helmets go, this helmet could be pretty good as well. And what about... no armor, gloves, or anything. Even the club, like this club is a level 4 club. No. Level 17. Item level, no, requires level 17. What level am I? 18, interesting. I left the helmet in here. So this helmet has 43 armor, this one has 92. So this one's better, actually, than this. I'm trying to think here how I want to handle this, because I need to get more slots. And the chromatic changes the color. The fusing links, and the jewelers changes the number of slots. So I have 26 jewelers. Let's give it a little bit of a try. Okay, well, there's 3 with 2 reds. They're not linked, though. Can I get 4? Item already has the maximum number of sockets. Oh, this one won't go up to 4. Well, 3 is pretty good, I guess. Now we need to fuse them, and I only have 8 of these. And we got really lucky and only needed 1. Now we need chromatic. So apparently, because this only focuses on armor, the chromatic orb will have a higher chance of producing 3 reds, and there we go. So this is how crafting can help you. This copper plate initially was not very good. Well, I mean, it was good, but it had properties about it that needed to be changed in order to make it really suit us, and we got that. So now it's still just basic copper plate. We're going to go ahead and use this binding orb we've been talking about. And it upgrades a normal item to a rare item with up to 4 linked sockets. So it will link them all. And it gave us another red. So it made it rare, which gives us 200 armor now. Extra strength, extra armor, lightning resist, and stun recovery. Like, this is exactly what we want. So that's a very nice upgrade. Going from 24 armor up to 200. And we have a 4 link now with our main skill, Sunder. Now, I only have 1 other binding orb, so I'm not going to use it on this helmet. But I have 5 orbs of alchemy, so I will use an orb of alchemy to make this rare. Bringing it up to 98. It gives us armor, accuracy, and all that. Accuracy is soon to be not very useful, but it's still going to... well, we'll maybe re-roll it later, but probably not. We'll just replace the damn thing anyway. So these are medium life flasks. These are greater. So definitely want to change that. Can I use an orb of alchemy on this? No. So only an orb of transmutation to make it magical. I don't really care about the effects all that much. Okay, and lastly, we need to find... oh, we got something quest-related over here for killing... oh, perfect. This is actually exactly what I was looking for, because we want a mana flask. And also, we're going to buy grand mana flasks, eh? Ooh, grand is even better. For 3 scrolls of wisdom, you can always afford to get grand mana flasks. How are our rings doing? Very shitty, so maybe we'll get a ring too. Do you have grand health flasks? Doesn't look like it. Oh, 1. A large. Greater is 360, this is 250, so greater is better. And one of these... okay, hold on. Back to the stash. We're going to throw you in here, and we're going to use an orb of transmutation to make you magical. I saw that one said removes bleeding on use. That sounds pretty good. What did I just do? I think I just took a bunch of those out. Okay, I think we're pretty good for now. So let's go ahead and sell all of our extra shit. Stuff that we don't need, accept, and then stash it all. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna take a stack.
Speak.
Just want to make sure I'm not missing out on a weapon of some sort. Like a bronze scepter is going to be better than a driftwood club. Plus, its links are the same. Oh, it requires 22 intelligence. One-handed mace, one-handed mace. Why do you have to have intelligence for that? Superior Tribal Club, maybe that's the one. 10 to 15 damage. This one only does 8 to 13. It's not length though. But it's probably okay. A rusted sword we don't need. Yeah, some of these one-handed swords require dexterity, and we don't really have a lot of dexterity. But this club might be a little bit of an improvement, so we're going to come over here, and we're going to use an Orb of Alchemy on it, so it's rare, so it's worth switching out. And then we're going to use one Orb of Fusing to link it. Okay. That's all we really needed. And we'll link that like that. Alright guys, I'm sorry, I know I'm sort of doing a lot of this shit, but this is part of the game too. Lastly, what do we need? Oh yeah, rings.
Hello.
Hello. You can buy Orb of Fusing? Oh, for 4 Jeweler's Orbs? Yeah, no thanks. Coral Ring for life. $22 maximum life. Let's get that. An amulet. You know what, actually, I kind of already regret my decision. Take it back. No? It's not how life works? Okay. Should I use... Not an Orb of Alchemy. Fuck that. That's not worth it. There we go. Is this even better? 22 life and 1.9 regeneration? Something tells me no.
What?
Okay. Forget it. That was all a mistake. But we did do a significant improvement. We look a little bit more badass now. So let's go ahead. Figure out where the hell the portal went. I can't find the portal. Where's the portal? Is it down here? Where the fuck's the portal? Did I lose the portal? I can't see it anywhere. Whatever. Crypt. Unless I just found the waypoint. I have no idea what's happened here. Hold on. We might be done with that. It's possible we may have gone to the crypt for no reason, but we might have to end up going back there later. That's, I keep pressing M for the map, but it's actually up here that I have to press. It's a little bit embarrassing. But if we look here, we know we definitely have to go up to the northwest, so let's head up that way. Oh, we found Katarina. She's going to give us a little bit of a quest to do. We level up. From here, we're heading up to here. Oh, shit, I just heard the sound from my headset dying. Here's our quest. You actually have to click on them so you can bring them back. Looks like they fight for you too. But there we go, we passed that. We leveled her up a little bit. We get a spiked club. Get some more experience and move on. Boop, boop. Yeah, that's 2 pretty recent beeps in a row there, so sorry, 2 seconds. You guys are going to hear the plug-in sound. Boop, boop, boop. That means we're plugged in and we're not going to die. Okay, this video is going to be coming to an end relatively shortly. I have decided to extend the length of them, by the way, a little bit because of the whole fact that, you know, what we talked about before. Playing a game that's going to take several hundred hours to get to where we want to go, but only releasing 1 episode per week, so might as well make them a little bit longer. I like that idea. Here we go. The Chamber of Sins. Am I going to the Chamber of Sins? Like, why does it tell me I have a quest up there, but I can't see that I have a quest up there?
The Eternal Empire was built by sickened minds.
Oh, you know what? That's the problem. The question mark doesn't mean that I have a quest there. It's whatever I click on here. Apparently the way forward wants me to head through the Chamber of Sins by traveling to the Western Forest. But I could swear that this is the Western Forest, but whatever. Today's episode is obviously not about efficient quest grinding like I thought it might be about. I've quickly fallen down this path of, like, probably doing this in the least efficient way possible. There's Katarina again. We just helped you. She wants to give me another quest. This little light there sort of points in the direction of the enemies she wants me to go kill. Or return. There they are up here, apparently. Oh, this is cool.
My mana is gone.
Are they returning with me? They are. Okay. There's a waypoint over there as well. Oops. There we go. So let's go get the waypoint. At least what we're doing is setting the foundation to do the quest properly next time. It's so funny because before, when I was playing this game, I was actually starting to get this down to a little bit of a science, and I was getting pretty focused and pretty quick at leveling up a character, but that is really annoying, by the way, being blocked out like that. But today, it's just not really coming together that way, which is okay. A lot of times in Path of Exile, if you find yourself in a zone that you don't really have a quest for, it's still worth going through because you should find something that you would have had a quest to come find later on anyway. So by picking up that something, you basically initiate the quest in a bit of a reverse order. Oh, and something for you to note is that I am already feeling the improvement in our flasks basically instantly. We're able to regenerate mana so much better now, so it was a good idea that we did that. But it did sort of, I don't know what happened to my portal, and it sort of threw us for a loop. But maybe I didn't even have a portal. Maybe I just came in through a waypoint, but I'm pretty sure I had a portal because I remember clicking on it unless I'm going crazy. Well, got a little unlucky going that way. To me, I think it's going to be down the way. There we go. Almost instantly, am I right? Chamber of Sins level 2. Yeah, we might be doing the quest in a bit of a backwards order here. Otherworldly spiders, eh? Well, they die like everything else does in this world. The way I came in, right? So I guess I need to head this way. Double Strike is a pretty interesting green skill. Typically better used by the Duelist or the Shadow type characters. I think we can get some use out of it if we really wanted, but I'm not sure that's part of our build. Have to remember to use Leap Slam every once in a while. This dude's gonna go down pretty quickly. Razor Slicer. Oh, hello. That might have been why this was taking a while. There's another guy over here. All of a sudden, I was like, this is a lot of skeletons. Not enough to, like, worry me that I'm gonna die or anything, but it was just like, where are they all coming from? There must be other necromancers resin them. Oh, we got another level here. We're getting pretty close to Resolute Technique. This means we will never miss a strike, which is why accuracy doesn't, I don't think it's gonna matter anymore. But we can never get a critical hit. Interesting thing to think about, whether or not that's a good trade-off. Some builds are built specifically for crit. This one is not. It's more gonna be about consistent damage. Got some more binding shards there, that's always good. Man, I feel like we've been in this place for a long time and are not really making any progress once again. Unless it's up here. Is there progress up here? There could be. There is something up here.
Go and test your sinews against that monstrosity. Perhaps 2 wrongs.
That thing! It slaughtered everyone! Help me!
Alright, time to help her. This thing. Wait, what thing? Was there something here? Because I seem to have already killed it. I'm gonna take the baleful gem, come back down here and actually rescue her now.
Piety was after a creation.
So that is the quest that we were supposed to do here. So I was worried that we were not making any progress at all, but it turns out that we are actually fine. So now we are going to use a portal. Going to make a conscious effort to know where the portal was. And see if it disappears on it. It's right there. It was definitely not there. So we have a reward to select here. Herald of Ash, Enduring Cry. Were any of these... Sorry guys, I'm going to actually check something real quick. I just want to see if any of these were actually important. Mainly physical damage. Herald of Ash. That is one that we want to pick up. Grants a buff provide... Oh, let me click here. There, you get the sound back. Grants a buff providing the fire damage based on your physical damage. Or providing fire damage based on your physical damage. Okay, so it makes us do more fire damage. Well, let's go ahead and throw that on. Where will you fit? In here. Why not? 18 intelligence. I have 14. Can I get a discount?
Journey.
We'll have to put that in somehow. Alright, what are we looking at here? 52 minutes. This is probably a pretty good place to stop. I will, however, identify some things. Check to see if I want any of this. So far, everything looks pretty bad. So this one only requires... Ooh, this is actually pretty good. Okay, let's take Leap Slam out. 19 to 24 damage. Oh, this does 22 to 38 damage, though. Never mind. Scratch that. Leap Slam, you go back in. We'll hold on to Herald of Ash. Okay, so we're going to sell our shit. Seems good. Stash it all. We're going to hold on to that one specifically, but we'll put these two away. Oh, that's a quest item, so we'll hold on to that. Okay, and I think that's going to do it. Sorry, guys, I think this episode was a little bit, like, staggered in terms of actually getting our quest shit done. But if we take a look, though, there is a quest now that we have essentially... because we've done it, it asks us to go into the sacred ground, I think, anyway. Or maybe we just put one in... Yeah, we rescued Selena. So we put one into the completed column, and it looks like this one we've sort of started as well. So we can go back and do that later. Next time, I'll try to be a little bit more focused on actually doing the quest than I was. I know I actually started the video out saying that I was going to try to be focused, and I actually just wasn't focused. But I kind of went off on a tangent and sort of just tried to keep playing while talking, and I ended up just doing random shit and the exact same thing I was talking about. But that said, if you guys enjoyed, please let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't enjoy, let me know as well. Let me know if there's something I can do that will improve the experience for you guys or for myself. If you see me doing anything kind of stupid or just like totally inefficient or wrong, let me know what you think. But that said, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.